Hello guys, it's way past midnight now and I'm sure I'm going to regret making this video in the morning, but I wanted to bring you up to date on what has happened in the past couple of hours, and that is the fact that Tesla has announced the $35,000 Model 3. So that's awesome, right? So that's the end goal that we had for Tesla, or that Tesla had for itself, I should say. And if you look at the website, you actually see that they now have the standard range, and they do their trickery with incentives and gas savings and all of that. And you see on the right side 26,950, but at the bottom you can clearly see it's the $35,000 car before savings. So yeah, that's great, but we need to remember, for those people that are outside of the US and mostly for those that are in Europe, I don't know how it works in other countries, but for Europe we have taxes that need to be added to the consumer price. So that means that the $35,000 is excluding the sales tax. So as Elon Musk said, that's about a 30% increase. That means it's not online yet for Europe. We cannot select the cheap version yet, which is to be expected. But that would mean that the cheapest version of the Model 3 would come out to roughly, let's say, that's going to be like a 46,000 euro car as base price. So yeah, be prepared for that. If you're living in Europe, you're never going to get a 35,000 euro car, right? It is going to include the sales tax and everything. But still, it is a lot cheaper than what is actually being offered right now with the long range version. Now, also, this is great, and you can go on the website and configure it for yourself and see what options are there. But there are a few other things that were announced, and I think some people are missing those in all the excitement about the $35,000 car. And that is, first of all, that the performance version of the Model 3 is now rated to go a top speed of 162 miles per hour or 261 kilometers an hour, versus the Model S, right, the P100D, the big daddy of the cars for Tesla. That is limited to 55 miles an hour or 250 kilometers an hour. So the Model 3 performance is now currently faster than the Model S P100D. Doesn't seem right to me. So hopefully that same firmware fix and that same power upgrade will trickle down, or will trickle up, I should say, to the P100D. But this is something that is really peculiar, that a much cheaper Model 3 would have a higher top speed. Next thing we need to look at is autopilot. So the definition of autopilot has changed a bit. If you look at the EAP, so the enhanced autopilot, then that is still a $3,000 option, but it only has steering, acceleration and braking automatically. So basically it's the highway lane assist and automatic cruise control. That is what you're getting for your $3,000. The peculiar thing is that the full self-drive is back. So either that means that they are really close, or they are desperate for some additional cash. That could also be a reason, but I'll go with the first one. Try to be optimistic, of course. And there it says that the Navigate on Autopilot is a full self-drive feature. The Auto Park is a full self-drive feature. Summon is a full self-drive feature. So in Europe we are still waiting on Navigate for Autopilot. That should roll out in the next couple of weeks, probably, hopefully. But you guys in the US, you already have the Navigate on Autopilot, even if you just ordered the EAP package and not the full self-drive package. So what does that mean? Is Tesla going to take it away from you? Are existing cars still going to keep it, even though they didn't pay for full self-drive? For me, except for the auto park. But summon and navigate on autopilot, for me personally, those were always a full self-drive feature. And the basic, like they advertise now, the lane keeping and the steering, and the acceleration, the braking, that was for me the basic autopilot. So basically where autopilot 1 was at, that was for me what we were to expect from autopilot, only getting better and more stable. Right? But getting the navigate on autopilot under the enhanced autopilot and not under the full self-drive, that seemed wrong to me from the start. And it seems like Tesla is following my train of thoughts. But they do have several cars out there that already have this feature and did not buy full self-drive. So Tesla, what are you going to do about that? Now also, if we look at the full self-drive features, so except for the navigate on autopilot, the auto park and the summon, which we already have, except for in Europe where we are waiting for the approval for that. Coming later this year, they say recognize and respond to traffic lights and stop signs. Great, but there's no mention of speed signs. And Autopilot 2 still does not read any speed signs, and the GPS database that it is using is outdated, or it's not complete. More often than not, the indicated maximum speed is wrong, at least in Belgium. So yeah, it is something that I would like to see, is actually getting the car to read speed signs. And I don't think it's going to be that hard, or it should be that hard, because it is available in a lot of other cars, and I know that's the easiest way to lose a discussion at Tesla, by saying, well, other people are already doing that, Tesla wants to do it their own way. But still, reading the speed signs, it is for me a necessity, because the GPS database is always outdated. By the time it's updated, things have changed already. The second one is automatic driving on city streets. So that's the full self-drive with the most complex situation, where you don't have lane markings, where you have very narrow streets, where you have children playing that could just jump in front of the car and it needs to react to that, where you have a lot of bikers or cyclists, and you need to take that into account as well. So I'm not sure that that's going to be coming later this year, but still, it is impressive that they are putting full self-drive back on the menu. That means for me that they are getting more and more confident that they are getting closer to achieving this goal. Now, another thing that they announced is that they are going to go to a solely online sales model. So again, that begs the question, what is that going to mean for the stores? Are people going to be retrained? Are people going to be fired? Again, if we look at the blog post, then they say it's Tesla is shifting sales worldwide to an online only. You can now buy a Tesla in North America via phone in about 1 minute, and that capability will soon be extended worldwide. So you can now return a car within 7 days or 1,000 miles for a full refund. And they actually state on the website that you can buy the car, take it on a road trip, and then within 7 days bring it back again. I'm not sure how many people are actually going to do that. But I mean, it is possible, and they have to allow it for you. Of course, you will still have to pay for the car in full, and then probably have to wait for a couple of months before you get your refund back. So that might be something that will hold people back from just renting a Tesla for the weekend for free, basically. So yeah, we'll see how that works, and we'll see how the stores will evolve. But for me, yeah, maybe they want to repurpose the people that are now in the stores, and they want to help, like maybe do the intake for maintenance for Model 3 or something. I don't know. So there's a lot of uncertainty maybe for those people. I hope they know what their future brings at the moment. But we all know that Tesla is not the best communicator, even internally. So yeah, it's going to be quite interesting what is going to happen in the next couple of weeks with this, especially in the US. In Europe, I assume that we will follow later on. So yeah, with all the excitement around the $35,000 car, I wanted to reiterate a couple of these things that are for me as important as having that base car. Um, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks with all the different things. And I think Tesla will need to clarify quite a few things in the upcoming days, especially for their employees, but also for the people that have bought the extended autopilot, not the full self-drive, and see what happens with the features that they currently have. But for now, I thank you very much for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye bye.